Hey friends, Greg here. So there are 5 tips that I want to share with you about treasury bill ladders that I wish I would have known before I set up my first 100K ladder about 6 weeks ago. So we're going to cover how to set up automation or auto roll correctly at Fidelity. And I wish I would have known a few things because I actually had to reset up all my automation last week. And so I'm going to show you what I did wrong and then how to fix it. We're going to cover how to sell your treasury bills early, and then finally, how to track performance over time. I'm going to show you through the tool that I built, which you can get for free, and through a tool I found at Fidelity that they just launched. And if you are a new wealth builder that is trying to set up a money system and get underneath your finances, I am going to be launching my first Money Monk cohort. It's going to cover everything from how to set up an automated investing system, how to create a vision for your money, and how to create long term planning so that you can get underneath debt, hit your short term goals, hit your long term vision and wealth plan, all within a system that will be taught directly from me. If that's interesting to you, I'll have a link to my free treasury bill tool along with signing up for my newsletter where I'll share more details in the next couple weeks. And we'll most likely be launching this late to mid August. Okay, so let's talk about Fidelity's auto roll service. So I'm a big fan of it, but there are some things that I didn't know that I know now that I would have done differently. So Fidelity Auto Roll, if you haven't watched my last video, it automatically buys a new treasury bill when one of the ones you purchase manually matures. Now there's a lot of pros. So it automates your ladder. So after you buy your first set of manual treasury bills manually, it'll just keep purchasing the same type of T-bill as before. But there is a pretty large con that I wasn't aware of. So the problem is that when you have one treasury bill that is maturing, meaning you're waiting for the US government to send you the money back that you loaned to them. Fidelity is going to buy a new treasury bill, the same type, roughly in the same time period. The problem is that there can be a few days between when Fidelity buys the new treasury bill and you get money from the government back into your account. And so the problem is that if you have a cash management account where you have cash plus your treasury bill ladder, Fidelity will automatically use existing cash in your account to purchase that new treasury bill while it's waiting for money to come back from the government. Let's say you have a $10,000 treasury bill that's set up on auto roll and you have $10,000 in cash sitting in the account. Well, the big problem or risk is that for the few days between when the treasury bill was purchased and you're waiting for money back from the old one, that cash that's sitting in the account is going to be used for that purchase. And so if you're someone like me who uses a cash management account to pay bills and to have cash available for expenses, I don't want to risk having my account overdrawn because I have some large expense that comes out at the same time as a new treasury bill is purchased. Now, personally, the way I thought it worked and the way I think it should work is that the money that you use for your treasury bill should be the only money that's used for a repurchase for an auto roll. So I don't know why it's not set up like that at Fidelity, but there is a way around it. And this is from Fidelity themselves. Okay, so here's how we're going to fix this. The first thing that you're going to do is create a second cash management account. And so this takes literally 2 minutes. You can go into new product, select a cash management account. If you already have one open, you can just add another one. There's no fee for doing that, pretty much instantaneous. So then as soon as you do that, you can call Fidelity to transfer all of the existing treasury bills that you had in your existing CMA to the new one. So then the cool thing is that you'll have one CMA for your bills and your cash, and then you'll have a second account that just has treasury bills. So now you can enable auto roll for the treasury bills that you have in this second CMA, or if you have cash for purchasing new treasury bills, as you make treasury bill purchases, you can enable auto roll in the second account. And this is going to fix it. So Fidelity will float the purchase of a new treasury bill while it's waiting on the proceeds from one of your old treasury bills. So you're not going to have any of your cash locked up in the other cash management account. So this does fix the issue. Doesn't take that long to fix, but if you're like me and you had existing treasury bills with auto roll set up in an account with cash, it means that you have to reset up auto roll again. Okay, so next up, I want to talk about how to liquidate or sell a treasury bill early. This was a question from a viewer. If you have an auto roll account set up, and you have your treasury bills, can you sell if you need the cash? And the answer is yes. But getting to the screen to sell a treasury bill is a little confusing. Okay, so here is how to sell a treasury bill if you need to do that. So here I am. I am in my new cash management account with just my treasury bills. So I don't have to worry about any cash being locked up. What you're going to do is you're going to click on fixed income dashboard. Okay, so now I am in my treasury bill ladder. And what you'll see is a section that says positions. And I've zoomed in on it here. So you're going to click on see more. Okay, so then in this detail, you're going to be able to click on sell, which I will actually sell one of my treasury bills for this video. And I'm going to decide to sell one of my older treasury bills that's closer to maturity. And so that's this one that matures on July 22nd. I'm going to click on sell. Okay, so now we're in the screen for Fidelity's buy and selling of treasury bills. And I want to walk you through a few things. So the first thing is one, there's a lot of jargon. You don't need to know all the jargon. I don't need to know all the jargon. So the first thing you want to pay attention to is this quantity minimum. And so what this means is that you have to sell a minimum amount of treasury bills in order to get the price that you're looking at. So for me, let's say I only want to sell one treasury bill, which in a brokerage's example is $1,000. I'm going to look for the bid where I'm allowed to sell only one treasury bill. So I look down here, and what you can see is that in this one, I'm able to sell just one treasury bill. And the quantity is really just what's available to purchase or sell on this third party market. Since we're not going directly to the government, that's what we did at auction. And so what am I actually going to get paid when I sell this one treasury bill? And that's where you want to look at the bid price. Now, this gets a little confusing. It shouldn't be this hard, really, but Treasury Direct, when you buy a treasury bill directly from the government, they trade in $100 increments. Brokerages trade in $1,000 increments. So if you go to Treasury Direct and you want to buy one treasury bill, it's $100. But if you go to a brokerage and you buy a treasury bill, one treasury bill is $1,000. So what this bid price is saying at the government quantity, which is one treasury bill at $100, what you're getting basically is for every $100 of a treasury bill, they're going to pay you $99.87. So if I were to just do this manually, I know that I have basically 10 of the $100 Treasury Direct bills or one brokerage bill. So at $99.871 times 10, I'll get $998.71. If I waited for another 12 days, I would get $1,000. And so I'm losing out on $2.29 of interest, but really it's not a lot of money. And I'm still getting this 4.274 interest rate. I'm just not getting the 4.31% that I was shooting for that I would get if I held the bill to maturity. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But now let's go through here and actually sell it. So I'm going to click this one and I'm going to say one. And just to call out here again on my handy whiteboard. So Fidelity will tell you one bond is $1,000. And so let's say I want to sell one as an example, and I'm going to limit price. That's the only thing you can choose from. The limit price here, 99,871, coincides with this amount. Time and force, fill or kill. Whether so basically what that means is if they can fill it at this rate, they will. If they can't, then they're not going to execute the trade. And that's the only thing you can do. So it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to click preview order. What you can see with my handy calculator, I did 10 times 99,871 to get the total amount, $998.71. I did click up here because I was interested in the third party price. So I guess there's some algorithm that they use to estimate what a third party would pay for it. I'm not really sure why they show this since they have the price already shown. It's a little confusing to me because the third party price is actually lower. So I don't know why they show that if this is the price you're getting. But anyways, I am going to hit place order and we'll click view order status just so you can see what this looks like if you were to be on Fidelity and try to do this for yourself. Okay, so now I am on my pending order screen. I couldn't get my webcam to display in a great spot to show you this, but what you can see is that I sold my one treasury bill and I'm waiting on $998. And so that's really it. It's going to process and sell, and I'll have that money available to me. So, really pretty cool. Here I am able to sell treasury bills on a third party market. It's very liquid. The rates are very close to what I am already going to be getting if I hold the treasury bill to maturity. Now, there's a little bit of risk that that rate might be higher or lower depending on what interest rates are doing during the time that you're holding the bill. Okay, so now hopefully you have your auto roll set up correctly. You're comfortable being able to sell a T bill early if you ever need to. Now, let's go to how to visualize ladder performance. Now, I want to show you what I do with my own Money Monk Treasury Bill ladder tool to track my performance. Okay, so now here I am in my Treasury Bill ladder tool, which again, you can get for free. And I walked through it on my previous video, so I'm not going to go super deep here. What I do want to show you is how to track performance with it. So under schedule, the schedule tab, all of this information in blue is going to automatically generate with the tool. So it tells me exactly when to buy manually, and then when future automatic purchases will happen, and when I can expect each bill to issue, and then also when I can expect each bill to mature. Okay, so when I want to go to performance, what you can do is just record manual entries of auctions you purchased. So now that I have all four rungs of my treasury bill done, you can see that here. I recorded when it's purchased, which is the day of the auction, and then how much I actually paid. And so you actually don't know what you're going to pay until day of the auction. Fidelity will estimate that for you. And so when it goes through, it'll show you the actual amount. So now you can actually see this section. So what you'll see is the performance of each treasury bill will automatically calculate. So I record how much I purchased, and then this will spit out how much interest I'm earning on each purchase. With each $25,000 purchase, I'm making, anywhere from $160 to $170. And that varies as interest rates change at auction. All right, now I want to show you timeline by rung so you can really kind of visualize what's happening here. So this pulls all of the manual data you entered. You can see the different QSIP IDs and how much interest. What you can see is the color code. So this first one is going to buy the fifth treasury bill automatically once we get auto roll set up correctly. And now the second one is going to buy the sixth one. And the third one is going to buy the seventh one, and the fourth one's going to buy the eighth one. Okay, so then finally on the dashboard screen, we can see what it looks like when a full ladder is built. And so I'm going to click here, T-bill tools, and refresh treasury rates. It'll pull results in from the last 2 years of treasurydirect.gov results. And you see that here, year updated processing 2023. I should have another one here in a second for 2024. And then all of the results up until the most recent auction. So it is Thursday, July 10th. And so it may actually even pull in the most recent results up until the 8th. So it looks like we're a few days behind still. You can kind of see what's happening with your plan. So I like the purple plan section, the total face value, which is how much money I wanted to put into my treasury bills, how much is remaining to be deployed, meaning I'm waiting to put more money into them since I have all of the money I wanted to put in is deployed. So I'm at 100% deployment and all of my rungs are active. And then finally, I can kind of look at what has my performance been with the amount of money that I put into treasury bills. So if you put in $100,000 with the bills that I purchased, the total cost of those purchases was $99,329, which means I made about $670 with those treasury bills. I actually think I see some errors in my upcoming purchases because these dates aren't right. So I'll have to go back and work on this. But it is available for free. It'll be on a link to my website. So just make sure that when you go in here, please make sure to click File and make a copy. Don't request edit access because that would edit the file for everyone. And obviously, I want to protect the integrity of the file, and you don't want to update any of your personal information into a tool that people can see. So just make a copy, and then that'll be available to you to use and build however you want. Now, I did say in this video, I wanted to show you one other thing, and that was just Fidelity's fixed income dashboard, which is where I navigated you to sell one of my treasury bills. But now I want to show it to you in full if you just want to look at your T-bill performance. What you can see from Fidelity is that my $100,000 of T-bills have averaged about 4.301%, which I am very happy with, because when you look at most money markets right now, I think Fidelity's SPAX is around 3.98. Some money markets from other brokers will be a little bit higher, and then a lot of high yield savings accounts around 4%. And the cool thing about treasury bills, if you've watched my first video, is that you pay no state tax. Now, I am not in a state that has state tax, but if I were, this would be an even more enticing rate. And so there's some things that I don't like about Fidelity's fixed income dashboard. One, it doesn't show retirement accounts. You can't manually include fixed income, maybe that you have with Treasury Direct or other places. I wasn't able to pull up dividend income from stocks or equities, and I wasn't able to get a lot of information on some of my bond funds. So for this to really be a dashboard to really help me see what my total fixed income picture looks like, it's not quite there yet. But what it was really helpful for is just to look at my treasury bill. So if I look at just my one cash management account with my treasury bills in it, I can quickly kind of see what the value is and the interest rate that I've gotten. Plus, I can buy and sell treasury bills on the third party market directly from here. Okay, so those are the last 5 tips and tricks that I have for you for treasury bills. This will most likely be my last video on treasury bills, as I am not the treasury bill guy. I am more about helping you build wealth across a variety of different investments and mindsets and strategies and tactics. But I think treasury bills are a great way to go to get a little bit more money on your cash. And it's really not that hard once you see some walkthroughs. And I think it's a great tool to have in your toolbox to continue to build. So I'll put in one last plug. I am starting a small group cohort that I'll have information out in the next couple of weeks to my newsletter. It's going to be probably between 4 to 6 weeks long, an hour a week, where we'll be meeting on Zoom. I'll most likely be making a Slack channel. So as a group, we can help each other and lift each other up as I walk through how to build a plan for your money that is a full system. It's automated, it's connected to a wealth vision that we'll build, and we'll get into how to pay off debt efficiently, how to look at your different retirement accounts, tax planning, investment planning. I'm really excited about it. And I'll only have it open to 25 people. I want to keep the first cohort small so that you can give me feedback on what works and what doesn't work, so that I can continue to tailor the curriculum that I'll be building as part of the Money Monk business. So if you're interested in getting money help, because I know I've actually had a lot of emails about people asking me, do you sell anything? How can I work with you? This will be the first opportunity for us to work together. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can sign up for the newsletter, and I'll have more details on my website over the next couple of weeks about how you can sign up. So I'll have more detail coming out soon around pricing, what the program is going to be focused on for new wealth builders. So I hope to see you there if you're interested in getting better with money. And if you have questions about treasury bills, please feel free to ask it in the chat. And if you want a more thorough walkthrough of my T-bill planner tool, I'll link you to a video next that walks through more details on treasury bills and how to use the tool next.